The CCP is not only blocking Taiwan from participating in medical and public health events, they also obstruct Taiwanese media from reporting on the World Health Assembly. Since 2009, Taiwan Central News Agency has annually stationed journalists in Geneva to cover the assembly. However, since 2016, Taiwan has been unable to participate as an observer, and journalists from Taiwan Central News Agency stationed in Europe have been unable to obtain press credentials. For example, in 2023, a Central News Agency journalist applied online and received approval to participate. But upon arrival at the conference, they were unable to receive press pass. An occurrence that happened for the first time. And when confronted, the staff directly told the Taiwanese journalist, "China is applying pressure." Hi everyone, this is Stan, your favorite Polish Taiwan YouTuber. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to today's show. In the end of May this year, the WHO is set to host the World Health Assembly, WHA. And this time, the Taiwanese government will also actively seek the opportunity to join the WHO, or at least to participate as an observer state at the assembly. So today let's discuss, why isn't Taiwan allowed to have a seat at the World Health Organization? Taiwan has excellent medical care, and its performance in preventing the COVID-19 pandemic over the past 3 years has been quite remarkable. Taiwan was also the first to alert the world about the outbreak in Wuhan, China, yet it is still being refused membership by the WHO. This dates back to 1971, when the Chiang Kai-shek regime lost its seat in the United Nations and the PRC joined the UN. The resolution 2758, passed at the time, didn't mention Taiwan at all, but the PRC likes to link Chiang Kai-shek's lost seat with the ambitions of the communist regime to occupy Taiwan. Even though they know that the resolution doesn't mention Taiwan at all, there is not a single word mentioned in it. And the Chiang's regime has been out of the picture for decades. The PRC today still distorts this resolution to argue that Taiwan is an inseparable part of China as its justification. Meanwhile, they pressure other UN member states using a majority rule approach and the abuse of veto power to exclude Taiwan from both the United Nations and the WHO. It was not until 1997 when Taiwan, with its democratically elected government and President Lee Teng-hui, began to actively pursue re-entry to the WHO. At this time, the Republic of China was no longer the same as during the era of Chiang Kai-shek, competing with the PRC to represent China. Instead, it was a new, democratically elected government of the ROC, also known as Taiwan, a democratic country, with 23 million people, each of those having their right to vote. Taiwan hoped to participate in the World Health Organization under the United Nations and expected the WHO to adhere to its constitution, which states that health is a fundamental human right and a universal value, irrespective of race, religion, political belief, economic or social condition. As a member of the global village, Taiwan has the right to the same health entitlements as everyone else in the world, and there is no reason for it to be excluded. Since the PRC regime obtained the right to represent China in 1971, its ambitions have not subsided, nor has it adhered to the oath made during the 6th special session of the United Nations General Assembly on April 6, 1974. At that time, Deng Xiaoping, who was the vice premier of the PRC, declared, "If one day China changes its color, becomes a superpower, and starts to dominate and bully others around the world, to invade and exploit them, then the people of the world should label China as a social imperialist power, should expose it, oppose it, and overthrow it together with the Chinese people." Looking at it now, it seems he was blatantly lying. Over the years, the international community has also seen how the PRC regime, which obtained the right to represent China through various promises, has been bullying Taiwan internationally to this day. Every year, they suppress the Taiwanese government's participation in the United Nations organizations by claiming that Taiwan is not a state, based on their unrealistic assertion that Taiwan is an inseparable part of China. However, the People's Republic of China, which was only officially established in 1949, has never had sovereignty over Taiwan, nor has it governed Taiwan for even a second. In 1949, when they founded their nation, Chiang Kai-shek's Republic of China government was still in existence. The PRC was only officially recognized internationally and joined the United Nations in 1971. And in 1978, the PRC firstly claimed in the preamble of its constitution that Taiwan is a sacred part of China's territory. And shamelessly in 1982, they even rephrased it as Taiwan is a sacred part of the territory of the People's Republic of China. These actions signify that they have never had any sovereignty or governing rights over Taiwan. They are merely comforting themselves by rewriting their own documents. These are the excuses used by the PRC to block Taiwan's access to the international organizations. Every year, disregarding the health of 23 million Taiwanese people, they demand that the World Health Organization should refuse Taiwan's membership. For several years, the WHO allowed Taiwan to participate as an observer at the World Health Assembly under the belittling name of Chinese Taipei.
Because of the Chinese communist pressure, then Olympic Games just feel like, oh, we can't call you Taiwan, sorry, we have to call you Chinese Taipei. And the thing is that actually most of our members here are not from Taipei. We are from other cities in Taiwan. Taiwan! 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 Taiwan!
Which was actually a way for the PRC to use health and human rights as bargaining chips, demanding that Taiwan join under the guise of being a part of China. It is highly unethical of the PRC to leverage health of the Taiwanese people to force the notion of being a part of China. Since 2017, because the Taiwanese people elected a party advocating for independence and self-governance as the government of Taiwan, which the PRC doesn't favor, the WHO has not allowed the Taiwanese government to send representatives to the WHO anymore. Even Taiwanese official media trying to send representatives to cover the World Health Assembly encounter various difficulties and have their invitations revoked. In 2019, due to pressure from Beijing, Taiwan was unable to join the vaccine procurement conference for the 5th year. In 2020, when the COVID-19 outbreak occurred, Taiwan's pandemic prevention experience made it clear to the other countries that there is no justification for excluding Taiwan from the World Health Organization. At the end of January 2020, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe both publicly expressed support for Taiwan's participation in WHO meetings, marking unprecedented international support for Taiwan. The Economist even published an article on March 26th of that year stating that exclusion of Taiwan from the WHO would cause a wider damage. Meanwhile, the Chinese WHO representative claimed that it was a lie and an excuse of the Taiwanese authorities to participate in the World Health Assembly. This actually is pretty funny. A country that caused a global pandemic disaster, daring to publicly criticize Taiwan's participation in the WHO as lies and excuses is ironic. As you know, the biggest liar could well be the CCP itself. In fact, as early as the end of 2002, when the deadly SARS epidemic broke out in Guangdong, China, the Chinese Communist Party not only failed to report it to the WHO, but also concealed the outbreak, causing other countries to miss the critical window of opportunity for epidemic prevention. Eventually, SARS spread to Hanoi, Vietnam, and Hong Kong, and then to at least 29 other countries, including Taiwan. Confirmed SARS cases began to appear in Taiwan in mid-March 2003. And the situation was well controlled until mid-April. However, due to a case that was not diagnosed in time, there was a massive hospital infection at Hopin Hospital. On April 24th of that year, Hopin Hospital was forcibly sealed off, an incident known as the Hopin Hospital incident. At the time, aside from China and Hong Kong, where SARS epidemic was most severe, Taiwan was the second most affected country, as it was the first encounter with such a highly transmissible virus. It caused panic in Taiwanese society, heavy economic losses, and a sharp drop in housing prices. The approximate decrease in GDP was 1%. Moreover, at the time, even though the United States, Sweden, Norway, and 9 other allies supported Taiwan's inclusion in the WHO's related mechanisms, the Chinese Communist Party still exercised its veto power to cancel Taiwan's application to join the World Health Assembly. When Taiwanese representatives protested inside the assembly's venue, they were forcibly dragged out by security. And later on, when the Taiwanese journalists asked the Chinese officials the question, "Do you hear the needs of Taiwan's 20 million people?" the Chinese officials responded very aggressively, shouting, "It's already been refused. Who cares about you?" Such an inhumane and arrogant response. Even more reprehensible is that on March 18th of that year, the WHO listed Taiwan's SARS cases under the names of Taiwan, China, or Taiwan Province in its reports on SARS outbreak. However, despite the double humiliation by the CCP and the WHO, the people of Taiwan, relying on their strong medical capacity and public health measures, successfully contained the spread of SARS in Taiwan. Finally, in July 2003, as there had been no new cases for 20 days, the World Health Organization removed Taiwan from its list of SARS-affected areas. Yes, at that time the world had not truly experienced the consequences of the CCP's regime-responsible attitude towards concealing various virus spreads. This led to the outbreak of COVID-19 17 years later, where apart from Taiwan successfully defending against the spread of the virus domestically, most other countries faced severe disasters. Moreover, Taiwan took on the role of a whistleblower, and at a time when the world was on the verge of a breakdown in epidemic prevention capacities due to overseas Chinese hoarding masks and medical supplies globally, Taiwan was able to independently produce and manufacture medical-grade masks and distribute them to the other countries in need. The CCP is not only blocking Taiwan from participating in medical and public health events, they also obstruct Taiwanese media from reporting on the World Health Assembly. Since 2009, Taiwan Central News Agency has annually stationed journalists in Geneva to cover the assembly. However, since 2016, Taiwan has been unable to participate as an observer, and journalists from Taiwan Central News Agency stationed in Europe have been unable to obtain press credentials. For example, in 2023, a Central News Agency journalist applied online and received approval to participate. But upon arrival at the conference, they were unable to receive press pass, an occurrence that happened for the first time. And when confronted, the staff directly told the Taiwanese journalist, "China is applying pressure." That journalist later told other media, "We received the permit a week ago, so the situation must have changed within this week." I asked the staff how China could have known about the press approval, and they replied, "China knows everything." For many years, overseas Taiwanese have also organized events and gathered annually in Geneva during the World Health Assembly to protest. In the past, Switzerland used very harsh methods to suppress and maintain stability against the protesting Taiwanese. Anyone wearing a shirt with the word Taiwan, or the Taiwanese flag for example, would be asked by Swiss police to remove it. And if they refused, they would be forcibly dragged away. However, things seem to change in 2023. People were surprised to find that this regulation has somewhat been relaxed. Some believe that this might also be due to the 3 years of the pandemic, which allowed Switzerland to somewhat recognize the unfairness Taiwan has long faced, and the arrogant and deceitful stance of the CCP. Moreover, Taiwan's international performance has demonstrated its absolute capability to share its medical technology and public health experience with the world. Taiwan's experience could, in fact, offer more support and assistance to the WHO. It now appears that the CCP, due to its own ambitions for territorial expansion, is preventing the WHO from gaining an excellent member state, which is quite sad. Taiwan's hope to participate in the UN organizations is merely a desire for global recognition. Beyond semiconductors and TSMC, Taiwan's medical capacity is another formidable guardian of the nation. This year, Taiwan will again attempt to join the WHO and the World Health Assembly. And regardless of the CCP's obstruction, the Taiwanese will continue to strive for the rights they deserve. I wish Taiwan all the best. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please press like, subscribe and share. This is Tian. I see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Taiwan can help! Taiwan is helping! Taiwan is helping! Taiwan, Taiwan, Taiwan! Taiwan, Taiwan, Taiwan!
WHO for Taiwan!
Taiwan, go, go, go!
Taiwan, go, go, go!
WHO for Taiwan!
台湾有加入 WHO 跟没有加入 WHO 的差别，就是全世界几百万个人的生命。
健康和人权都是普世价值。
台湾就是台湾，
支持台湾加入世卫组织，不只是帮助台湾，也是帮助全世界。
按台湾就台湾了吼，按第一行我来讲呀，对不？
那我们台湾人的个性就是很愿意帮助别人。
台湾要加入 WHO， 对不对？感谢大家，我们一起努力，谢谢。
健康是人权，台湾不能被拒绝。对 ，Health is human right， 台湾 should not be denied。
加入世卫，台湾加油！
因为妈妈也希望我的小孩可以成为世界公共卫生医疗的一团。
Love and peace. Love and peace.
台湾不舒服 ，Work together。
台湾的主权要让经济 WHO 来抗命。
Taiwan is a great country with nice people.
Taiwan should join the WHO and it should become independent. I do. We come here to support Taiwan. We hope Taiwan can not only join the WHO, we need to join the United Nations. We are a country.
Taiwan for all.
加油！台湾加油！